Have you ever wanted free eggs, but are just super overly concerned about chickens? Well, in this video, I'm going to be showing you about chickens and why you should get them. Just be sure to make sure that your city allows them and you're good to go. So one of the first things you need to discuss here is, well, egg production, because that's what you came on here to see, egg production. Chickens will lay up to 200 eggs per year, but depending on the breed you can get, you might be able to squeeze up to 350. I'm going to say Buff Orpington's right there. And Barred Rocks are pretty egg-heavy chickens, but I also have ISA Browns and the other flock that lay just about maybe like 7/8 of the year. So they lay a good chunk of the year, even if it's like freezing. Just remember to make sure you know what your climate is. I'll discuss that in a minute, but here are the cold hardy chickens. I'm from the Northeast and it gets real cold up here. You do not mess around with how cold it is, so yeah, I gotta say egg production really good, but some chickens are less of the egg production family and more of the just chilling out and do absolutely nothing and decorative family. Now, I will say those chickens do exist, like green queens over there, they lay significantly less eggs. But you can see Easter eggers do lay a variety color of eggs. You need to make sure you know what your eggs are going to be like, because this chicken laid blue eggs right there. I don't know if you knew that chickens could lay blue eggs, especially if you don't have chickens. Well, if you do now, then you now know that. So hopefully that convinced you to get some breeds. I have a video linked in the description for that. Now, briefly, we're going to talk about roosters. Very loud, very annoying, and some cities don't like them there, so they ban them. So if your city has a rooster ban on them, make sure you check in. That's why I said check it with your town first. But if your city has a rooster ban on it, well, don't get them, because they just don't want to hear their nefarious crows every morning. So yeah, pretty obvious for that, because, you know, they don't want to hear that annoying crow every morning. They're also pretty malevolent to you as well. So I'd recommend making sure that your rooster is not as bad as mine can be. And also, my rooster experience been 50-50. Now, I gotta say, roosters enjoy mating with chickens. They do it multiple times a day per chicken, but they do have their choices. So that's why some chickens get absolutely beaten down and others don't. And when they mate, they jump on the chickens. Obviously, I'm not going to explain the process here, because I'd rather stay here. They will lose their feathers. That's as much as I'll say. So if you're concerned about that, if you still want a rooster, that's a risk, but I recommend a chicken sweatshirt. Yes, those exist. Now, I don't know if you've ever heard the term Broody before. This is when a poultry bird usually, but also a lot of other birds as well, have the desire or intent to hatch out an egg. Now, chickens take 21 days to hatch. Ducks take 28, and I think quail takes significantly less, but I don't know just yet. So I will say they are quite obnoxious when it comes to broodiness, because they could range from very, very mild broodiness where they just sit on eggs for a couple hours of the day. But chickens spend 92% of their day with their broody on top of these chickens. The other 8%, they're either outside or just off the eggs for a couple seconds. So I will say they spend a lot of time on the eggs, and they're really annoying. So I will say they will scream at you without any care in the world, because they're just like that. They will bite you. They actually have caused some sustainable injuries before to some people. So I gotta say, broody chickens, quite obnoxious chickens, but if you want chickens for the purpose of selling or breeding eggs, broody chickens are what you need. Now, if you have a family of especially very young children, very naive people as well, I'd recommend chickens like this. You can see they have literally no intention of doing any harm, because you can see this chicken, a lot of chickens don't allow you to do that, but Buff Orpingtons will, so that's why you want to get that breed of chicken. But yeah, a lot of chickens in this flock, and even the duck, which I'll make a video on eventually, doesn't have any very bad intent inside of her. So I will say, very good overall chickens. Well, they're really fun, because if you have a chicken like this, it will eat out of your hand as well. Well, you're in for a lot of fun. So I'd say enjoy your chicken's company, because apparently, according to a study, birds do help improve mental health. So chickens are a really cool companion for that. Now, tips and costs. Now, I made a video originally a while ago, like maybe like a good, let's just say like 7 or 8 months ago. I made a video about that, and they're about like $2,500 a month, maybe a bit more than that, if you have a flock of 1 dozen chickens. Now, you need to make sure you're implementing all the costs here, because feed costs like $50 a month. Their housing costs a lot of money if you electrify it, but housing like this one, I'd say back when we built this 2020, I'd say maybe about $1,500, maybe $2,000 about. It's not a whole lot. That's mostly because we built it on wheels, and that trailer was just rusting out on the property and needed to be put to some form of use. But building a chicken coop on wheels like that, that's probably gonna be more like $3,000 to $3,500 depending on the size of the trailer, could be even closer to 4,000. So just remember that. And waters cost a lot of money as well, especially considering you have to pay for that sometimes as well. Chicken feed, you need to constantly be replenishing the supply, making sure and chickens in return do lay eggs, which does help you sell. And especially with nowadays, usually you put $8 into the chickens, you get $3 out. But with the $8 now per egg, if you sell them for $8, which is, well, very devious, you're gonna get $8 back. So I will say, egg income isn't the best, but at least you have fresh eggs to eat. And also, if you've watched this far, I'd say smash like and subscribe and check out all my playlists where you can see the type of content you want to watch. So please click on my channel and you can see all the videos you want to enjoy about farm life and living the life outside, everyone. Goodbye.